Whenever I have a nice instrument come in the shop, or a great instrument come in the shop, I go ahead and make a full blueprint of the thing. And for years I've been talking to Tim, like, what can I do with all that stuff? How can I release that in some format that's available to people? So this is one of the ways I can get it out there. For me, the numbers are really important. We all agree that the wood's different, the medium's different, all our working conditions are different. But we got to have some foundation to start out with. And it's all clear, if we start out with the top that's 3/4 of an inch thick, no matter how great the wood is, it's not going to work very well. And so I've got kind of a sampling of a bunch of the iconic classics. And we just kind of go and these are where the dimensions go with them, and how we look at them, and what are common with them. And then we'll get into a couple of different ways of more of the hands-on stuff. And that's the larger portion. What we like to do is the hands-on stuff. But that, for me, that lays sort of a foundation for just where I'm going with it, kind of my approach, and then a couple of different ideas.
And then there's going to be show and tell, but also audience participation time. So I want those of you who want to get hands-on some pieces. These are sacrificial tops that I made out of shipyard spruce. This one's actually going to be, once you guys finish mangling it or perfecting it, whatever the case may be, it'll be part of the auction too. So that's kind of a cool thing. And this is exactly off the Angelico blueprint that GAL publishes. Okay, this is a Stradivari marking gauge. They have this in the Stradivari Museum. Actually, Vincent and Colleen, when they were apprenticing with me, they made this. It's very easily adjustable. Now, you can do the marking on a drill press, where you take a small bit and you take a post. This actually works better because it's pushing down. You don't risk all of a sudden making a hole too deep. Also, it makes if you look at the way the screw is ground, it's kind of triangular. You're making an odd shaped hole, which is easier to see at the bottom. It's sharp, so there's not as much compression too. When you're drilling, you have that little compression mark at the bottom of the hole, and this you don't get it. And now normally I just stick it in a vise, like the end of one of my workbenches, and just hammer away with it. But these gentlemen can just hold it while doing it. Yeah. But it's really easy. It's a one-handed thing. You put it in the vise and you hold the plate with one hand and just go for it. So what I like to use to measure, I use these plumber's gauges a lot. I don't know, can you guys see those? Yeah. And they're metric on one side, and I think they cost about $6. And it's just a taper gauge for measuring the inside of pipes. And we'll set this one, it's probably set at a good number right now. Yeah, it was I think it was for that guitar there. So it's set at 475. Maybe since it's an 18-inch, we'll back it up a little bit. That's good. What the hell, let's just go for it. All right.
I've run into a lot of trouble getting the compression divots. Getting a little overzealous with sort of the drill press thing, and even after you sand it out, it's still compressed in the wood.
This does not do that. That's the beauty of it. You won't get it.
So is that conical shaped or pyramid shaped?
Oh, it's sort of like this, and then a little another angle.
Kind of pyramid shaped.
Yeah. Let's work on the flank for right now. And get that area taken care of. Okay, both of you guys are playing enough to hold on to that thing. All right. Now what I like about this is very controlled. I don't feel like I'm risking damaging something. About 5.5 millimeters, let's call this the tongue. And I would bring this area down, really do 4, and then even a little thinner on the edge without interfering. Basically, and this was what I was going to get to. The dimensions I ended up that I like on that guitar, are almost identical to what you'll find on the Stradivari Savus cello. I didn't get that blueprint out. I had it for years, but I hung it on my wall when I finished the new studio, so about 18 months ago. And I was looking at the Savus, right? And I thought to myself, it's exactly where I ended up with the Archtop guitars. So, you know, it's really nothing new. It's actually very, very old. So if you want a good blueprint of thicknesses for an Archtop guitar, that's almost perfect.
Steam or heat or something, take the back off, pipe this back on, wait for the next night. I can hopefully you can remember what you think. Can I see this real quick?
Going against the grain like that sideways is very fast, and if the plane
Take
is
it off,
sharp,
put it
it's
on,
going to
take it off, put it on. In all the new instruments I make, whether it's guitar size or a mandolin,
some of the
they're
deeper
developing tremendous
plane
vocabulary
marks
100 years from
with a
now.
flatter
They'll
plane
laugh at
blade,
what I
something
do,
more
like
like
leaning,
this.
putting leeches
And
in.
it's not going to be as
Right
aggressive,
now,
but it'll
most
still
of
leave
what
a
I see
nice
people
surface.
do is like, you know, at 230 hertz, wow, it's really interesting thing happens. You know, it takes a little bit of heat off here, something else happens. But I've yet to be able to find anybody that can say,
Okay, yeah, look at
take
this.
30 thousandths off here and use that Archtop voltage. I know that's what they're getting to, is that I play music more than anything.
And don't push down as hard with this one, just let it
Quite
slide.
often, like I said, I will just carve Oblivion.
There you go.
Like, okay,
Yes.
you know, I'll get a pretty good idea when it starts fading out. It's pretty obvious.
For stuff like that. Having such a big aperture, this loosens the top up a lot. So even before we did any thicknessing at all,
Yeah.
this one is considerably more
You're part of the,
open
part of the
than this top. I'd have to untape it, but we'll
Yeah,
do that at some
that
point.
is a feature.
But there's a huge difference.
Sujet.
I also, you know, I designed these aesthetically as much as size, so it's something that I opened up, and then on a guitar experimented like James is doing now until I found a good breathing point for me on the guitar. And then I repeat them, but I use this on different size instruments too.
Breathing's a great way to describe it.
Breathing.
Like, you get to that point where like there's tension and it's just not working right, and then it's just like now we can let loose and it has a variety. It really also depends upon what you want to get out of it.
Yeah.